Hey guys, Brian from Progressive Force Concepts here, waiting on the sun to finish going down and for it to get dark out here to start to execute this new drill that we've designed for you guys. This one is pretty complicated. It's got a lot of different layers to the onion, and it's called Nod Sandwich. Essentially what this is addressing is a lot of things that we constantly see overlooked in training when we're training in a vacuum. What I mean by that is we're going to train visible white light. That's all we're going to work on is just that skill. We're going to train infrared goggles, night vision, or observation devices. We're going to train just that skill. Oh, we're going to train threat assessment or multiple threats. We're going to train just that skill. So this is kind of adding a bunch of layers to the onion. Now, I'll forewarn you, it really helps to have a facility like ours. It really kind of helps to put the icing on the cake, so to speak. So this drill is actually going to involve 3 separate ranges, and that's where the name comes from, Nod Sandwich. First range that we're going to work on is going to be our farthest range over to the right. Shooter's going to begin facing up range, and he's going to have 2 targets arrayed behind him at close distance, and then 1 distant target. This will be under night vision goggles. He's going to get that contact command to turn. He's going to assess and engage those 2 near threats, drop down to a shooting position of his choice, and he's going to engage that far threat. In this case, we're using steel targets. He's going to select safe. He's going to begin trucking it around, moving over to range number 2. Now, as he's doing that, there's going to be light that is penetrating out of the mouth of range 2, telling him that he's going to get washed out or blinded under his night vision goggles, and also he's going to lose full situational awareness. So at that point, it's up to him to flip his night vision goggles up and go to visible white light. When he comes around the corner, we've actually got 2 ATVs that are running. You can substitute anything for this, and the headlights are going to be pointed directly at you. First thing he'll do is set up on a barricade, and he'll make a long shot, having to utilize his visible white light to overcome that forward light. Select safe. He's going to move over and consider those 2 parked vehicles with the lights in his face as sort of a gauntlet that he needs to move through. He will not be able to see what he actually has to engage until he moves past them, activates his visible white light, and then he's capable of engaging those 2 multiple threats. In this case, steel targets again. Selecting safe, and he's going to start trucking out of range number 2, or that middle range with visible white light, and moving over to our last range on the left, wherein he's going to go back to night vision goggles. So he'll be dropping his nods back down, coming around the corner, again, making a nice long shot. And at this point, we've set up sort of a bit of a barrier or a screen, if you will, with a series of rubber dummies. They've got bungee cords with blue guns around their necks, so we have a shoot-no-shoot scenario. 2 out of 3 are engaged, and then 1 is a no-engage in very, very close proximity. And he's not going to be able to see that under his goggles until he takes in and sort of weaves his way through that problem, engaging accordingly. So our ability to take and put the clutch to the floor and rapidly shift gears back and forth between running in totally visible conditions, visible white light necessary conditions, infrared conditions is absolutely critical, as well as the operation of the equipment that's mounted on your rifle. If you do not have a range that makes this possible in the same fashion that we did, there's no reason whatsoever you can't modify it to suit your needs. If you have a range that won't even allow for that, well then I guess you're just going to have to come train with us. Give this one a try. We think you guys will like it a lot. Stay safe.